Hey, my name is Phil. I am the head of product here at Edelrid, and in this short video, we're going to talk about climbing ropes and how to reduce the ecological impact. So let's cut the sustainability bullshit here. Nothing what we manufacturers do is sustainable in its true sense. The only option we have is to act responsible. And this means we always think about ways to reduce a product's ecological impact. And in this regard, what comes to mind quickly is circular economy, right? This means we make a product out of a product. But more specific, we make a given product X exactly out of this product X. Because what we often seeing nowadays is a classical downcycling, not a recycling. Okay, and now recycling doesn't sound so innovative, right? Well, for one, this is because it is used inflationary everywhere and most of the times wrong, as for example, in the case of downcycling. And on the other hand, in a lot of other cases, like for example apparel, it is also not that technically difficult. Because let's face it, if the recycled fiber doesn't last as long as a virgin fiber in a jacket, nobody will get hurt, right? It is a very different case when we talk about climbing ropes. We agree on that, don't we? So, very long story short, actually a story of more than 9 years now. In 2014, we set out to achieve exactly that. A climbing rope made from climbing rope. Ropes that were shredded to pieces, processed, and then spun out again to yarns that recycled rope was made from. And 4 years later, we achieved exactly that. A milestone for climbing gear and the first personal protective product 100% recycled from exactly that. And this here is the historic piece of rope. Now, in the final product we put out on the market, we only put 50% recycled yarns, as otherwise the product would have gotten too expensive. Back then, we were using mechanical recycling, as this method will always have the lowest possible footprint of all recycling processes, to the disadvantage though that it is technically so much more challenging. Since 2018 though, we have learned so much and extended our research to other recycling processes. We can now add chemical recycling to the mix. Processes that are less technical challenging, cheaper, but with the downside of having a bigger footprint than mechanical recycling processes. Come take a closer look at recycling plastics. You can see here roughly the most important steps that it takes to make a climbing rope, from the very beginning to the final product. And of course, starting from the beginning, each step emits CO2 along the way. Now, when you mechanical recycle a final product, you could basically say that from the final product, you go back to the polymer stage and then repeat the process from there. Chemical recycling, in comparison, goes further back the process. And here there are actually two types. Depolymerization takes the recycled material back to the monomer stage, while pyrolysis goes back even one step further to the virgin feedstock. Going back further means a more robust process in general. This means that the recycled material could be more contaminated or even material mixes are easier to handle. But as you can imagine, going back further means, on the other hand, that the CO2 footprint will be bigger. So, is one form of recycling better than the other? The answer is yes and no. Yes, when we look at the CO2 footprint, but no, because any type of recycling is better than new virgin material. So we should see them as complementary. And with all this, we now introduce the Neo 3R100, the first 100% recycled PPE rated climbing rope made from climbing rope. The sheath of this rope is made from mechanical recycled yarns, where the core is made from depolymerized chemical recycled yarns. This reduces the footprint of this climbing rope by almost 60% compared to the same rope potentially made from virgin fibers. And that is the Neo 100.